Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. And today's shout out goes to Reek Rodriguez. Reek Rodriguez was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with a review of a neat new drone. This is the Holystone Hs720g. Now, what is the Hs720g? Well, this is an upgrade to a previously released drone from Holystone, which was the Hs720e, which had a 4K camera, which this also has, with electronic image stabilization, which this also has. But what does this have that the Hs720e did not have? Well, they actually put a stabilized gimbal on this particular drone. Let me show you here. Let's open up the folding drone. It is a folding drone, as you can see here, for portability. But they've included a 2-axis stabilized gimbal, which, again, the previous drone did not have. Now, to open this, you need to pinch it from the bottom. There we go. And then it lifts up like a hinge, this cover for the gimbal, and then you can pull it off like so. But there it is, the 2-axis gimbal on this folding drone. Now, before we go further, I want to, I mentioned this is a folding drone for portability. With that in mind, it comes with a very nice carrying case. This is semi-rigid. Feels real nice. But for the drone and all its accessories, you get this very nice case to go with it, to carry that drone. Okay, let me move that aside here and spread this out so we can see a little bit better. Here's its box, for those who want to see the box that comes with it. But let's get that out of the way also so we can focus on the drone. Okay, so I mentioned the camera real quick. I'm going to go into that more into detail a little bit later. But again, it includes a 2-axis stabilized gimbal along with image stabilization. It is a brushless motor drone, as you can see here, for improved longevity. It weighs 379 grams with its battery installed. What does that mean? That means in most countries this is going to require registration. So keep that in mind, folks. You want to buy this one, particular drone, you're probably going to need to register it in your particular country to fly it. It includes altitude hold, includes GPS capability, GPS GLONASS, I believe, and that gives you return to home on command. You can press a button on the controller. This will fly back and land itself automatically where it took off from. It will also do that if it loses signal from the controller. It will come back and land. And finally, on low voltage, it will come back, I believe, within a radius of 30 meters. We're going to verify that when we go flying today. And see, it brings it in close so that you don't run out of battery while you're extreme distance from where you took off from. It also, in addition to GPS, it has an advanced optical flow system. Let's see if you can see that here. It includes an optical sensor here, standard optical sensor, along with 2 IR detectors to improve, this is, I guess, for stereo, determining how high it is off the ground. But anyways, optical flow system. What does this do, folks? This allows the drone to maintain a steady hover without the need of a GPS. So if you want to fly this indoors and hover it indoors, it'll do that using that optical flow system. You need good lighting to do that, so keep that in mind, folks. And also, there are some restrictions that won't do that over water. Well, obviously, water is causes problems with this. The way this works is this looks directly beneath the drone, looking at the ground directly beneath the drone, and using that view to help maintain its position using the onboard flight control computer on board the drone. So again, optical flow system included on this particular drone. Other things about it, it has a true 4K camera. Okay, what that means, this is capable of recording video and photos at 3840 by 2160 pixels. Videos are recorded at 30 frames per second, which is pretty good for a drone in this price range. Video can also be downgraded to 1080p. You can, through the app, and it'll be sent up to the drone and recording in 1080p at 60 frames per second. And that's what I'm going to do today, folks, because I have some problems editing 4K videos with my particular laptop, but I don't have any problems with 1080p, so I probably am going to record today's flight in 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now, those videos and photos are recorded to an onboard microSD card or TF card. I recommend if you're going to be recording in 4K, get yourself a good card. When I mean good, I mean a U3 card or above for write speed. I'm going to be using a U1 card because I'm going to be recording in 1080p. But again, if you want to record in 4K, I recommend getting a good card, or else you might have some problems in recording where you get skipped frames. So keep that in mind, folks. You need a good card for 4K. Now, FPV video and advanced flight control features of this drone are available using an Optical Fly app. Now that app's available on Google Play and iTunes, and with that app you can view the video from this drone in real time on your phone. Apparently, supposedly you can get out close to 300 meters. We'll see if that is true. I'm not going to actually fly to 300, but I will go out close to 200 and see if we got video out to 200 meters today. Also, I said advanced flight control features are available also through that app, and those include follow me, circle me, waypoints, and headless mode. Also, you can adjust the camera settings on this camera. I mentioned it's 4K and 1080p, but you can switch between 4K and 1080p using the app. You can also adjust the brightness, the saturation, special effects are available also in the app, and you can adjust ISO settings and white balance. So keep that in mind. Now, one thing about that app, this requires the use of 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. That is not available on some phones. Okay, so these days it's available on most phones, but there are still some phones out there that still don't have 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. And if that's the case, you can't use that app with this drone. So before purchasing this drone, I strongly recommend, and I always stress this, strongly recommend that you first check that your phone indeed can use 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. And to do that, folks, you just do a search, Google search, and type in the words, the Holy Stone, no, I'm sorry, what am I, you want to type in the words 802.11, your phone model name, and the word specifications, and see if 802.11 AC shows up in the search results. Okay, do that before you purchase this drone, so you don't be disappointed when you get this. Then you say, why isn't the app connecting to the drone? It's because you got an old phone. Sorry. So you don't want to get this and find that out. One thing though, since this is from Holy Stone, this is probably available on Amazon, will be available on Amazon, and since that, it's usually, and it enables easy returns if there is a problem. So that's one of the good things about Holy Stone that I like. They sell these drones that are similar to the drones that you see from China, except they seem to be higher quality. They go with the higher quality drones that they see from China. And they'll have one made specifically for Holy Stone. They'll change the design of the drone a bit. But the good thing about that is, it's going to be a little more expensive, or a bit more expensive, because it's being sold on Amazon. But the return ability is much easier than sending your drone back to China. Usually, if you buy a China drone, you have to send it back if there's a problem, and you send it back on your own dime. That could be very expensive. So, especially sending back to China. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention about the drone is its battery. Let's get into the battery real quick before I go on to the controller and that. But this battery is a 7.7 volt, I believe, and 2400. I'm looking for it on my cheat sheet here. Don't see it listed on my cheat sheet, but it is 7.7 volt and 20. My eyes are so bad these days. 2850 milliampere hour. Okay, with that, you're supposed to get around, I believe, 25 minutes of flight time. We'll see if that's true when we take it outdoors to fly this. But one thing about this battery, a couple things about this battery I want you to know, is it is charged via a actually this is Type-C USB port on this particular battery. That means you can use a Type-C USB cable. In fact, they give you one here, and I recommend using a wall charger with this cable. Okay, don't try to charge this on your computer, because this is a big battery, and computer USB ports just don't have the oomph to charge a battery of this size. Again, I recommend a 2 amp wall charger to charge this particular battery in a reasonable amount of time. And the second thing I want to talk about this battery is insertion of the battery in the drone. Sometimes you can put it in like so, and you think it's ready to go. Okay, but see that little sliver right there? This battery is not fully inserted, so don't before you go flying, make sure the battery is fully inserted, because what I'm saying is there is a possibility that vibrations can pop it out and have your drone come falling from the sky from loss of power. Just make sure that this is all the way in by giving it a nice little push, okay? And make sure that it is flush against the back, that there's no visible line, you know, extension like that coming out the back. That is bad. This is good. Make sure it's all the way in. And the battery does have an on-off switch on the back, so you can check the battery power and start up the drone. So, let's go what you get in the box. You get a really nice instruction manual in English and German. Okay, very extensively, or it goes over this drone very well, actually. So I recommend reading this particular manual that you get with this. You don't normally see a manual like this on the China drones, but they give you a really nice one here with the Holystone drones. You get the drone, of course, itself, and you get a spare set of propellers in case you break the ones you got there. You get a little screwdriver to change those propellers if there's a problem. You get the charging cable, of course, and you get the controller. Let's go over the controller. Well, looking at it right now, let's open up these particular... I'm looking right here to see if these are real or not. Hold on, folks, while I turn on a light here. What I'm looking at is looking to see if there's a wire going up in these, to see if these are real antennas, and I'm not seeing a wire. Okay, so I think these antennas may be fake on this particular ones, on this particular controller. So that means you really don't have to focus on aiming your antenna. But it does have a phone holder for your phone. You bring it up, pop it down like so. Let's go over the... Now with this controller, I forgot to mention, this controller, I think they were talking about 1,000 meters. Again, you're not going to be able probably to get out 1,000 meters of FPV video while you're flying this. So if you do go out to 1,000 meters, you'll be flying blind. But the good thing is this particular drone has a SD card. You know, it records to an onboard memory card, and you'll still be able to record video out on distant flights if you do that. But again, you'll be flying blind, and that's not legal in most countries, so keep that in mind if you're going to do such that, you know, flying distance outside of FPV range. Other things on this particular controller, let's go over the buttons. This is for scrolling the camera up or down. Okay, the scroll wheel over here, so you can tilt that camera up or down on that gimbal using this scroll wheel here. This scroll wheel is inoperative. It's stuck. You know, I guess it's for future releases. They have an extra scroll wheel if needed. This button here is for starting and stopping or taking a photo. And if you want to take a video, you hold it down for 2 to 3 seconds, and that'll start and stop videos. This button here is for changing the rates of the drones. If you want to fly faster, you can press it 1, 2, or 3 times, and that increases the pitch on the drone to enable it to fly faster. This button here is for automatic takeoff and automatic landing. To use that, you need to first start the drone, and to do that, you have to unlock the drone by pressing this button here, and that will put the drone into idle. The motors will speed up and go into idle, and again, to take off, you just press this button here. Or to land, you press that button there, and it will land itself automatically. Return to home and landing, if you lose sight of your drone and you want to bring it back, or you just are lazy to fly it back manually, press this button here and the drone will fly back and land where it took off from. Again, this is for unlocking the drone, and if you hold it down for 3 seconds, that's emergency stop. That will stop the motors in flight. It will drop like a rock. Don't do that unless this ends up in a tree and it gets stuck up in a tree or a bush, and or flips upside down. You want to protect the motors. Hold this down for a few seconds to shut off those motors quickly. And this is the on-off switch. Now it does come with a nice LCD screen. See if I can get that in focus so you can see it. And things on this LCD screen, you get the battery power of the controller, battery power of the drone if it was connected. It's not connected right now. Signal of the drone and signal of the controller being received by the drone. You get telemetry information of distance and height of the drone. Whether the GPS is on or off. You can turn this GPS off by the switch here. Be very careful when flying. Make sure if you're flying and you're assuming you're flying GPS, before you take off, verify that that says GPS on. Also verify that you have sufficient satellites. Right now I got 0 satellites because I'm not connected, but you need a minimum of about 7 to 8 satellites before taking off. So don't try to take off with less than 8 satellites, because you'll be in optical flow mode. Okay, so be very careful. Again, double check that it says GPS here, and I believe mode 2 or mode 1 when we're in. Well, wait, hold on. Let's connect this drone. I'll show you how to do it. There, we're connected, and see, we got the signal from the drone finally, and the battery power from the drone. Okay, and switching between GPS on or off. Well, I guess that we're in mode 2 means mode 2, which means throttle on the left and pitch and roll on the right. I'm not sure if you can switch back and forth between the two on this particular drone, but I'll check into that later and see if this can be switched to mode 1, and I'll put that here on how to do that. Okay, so that's what you get with the drone, and it's the Hs720g. Let's take this drone out into the field and see how it flies. So I hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to Pleasant Ridge Community Park for the flight of the Hs720g. Now, it's a kind of breezy day today and overcast, so we're going to see how this works on a breezy day and an overcast day, because I'm not going to get much better weather here for the next week or so, folks. It's supposed to rain for the next week, so I'm going to fly right now. Okay, to get this in the air, we need to turn it on first. Okay, again, make sure that battery is flush in the back before you do that, and then press once and then twice and hold it down until you hear those ESCs chirping, and put it on a flat level surface and turn on the controller. Okay, and the controller is connected as you see here. Okay, the next thing I want to do is connect that Wi-Fi signal from that drone to my 802.11 AC Wi-Fi capable phone. So hold on while I do that, folks. Okay, this is the Fpv App available on Google Play and iTunes. And before we take off, I want to adjust a couple things in the settings here. First off, I want to make sure that we are not in beginner mode. That beginner mode is turned off, and it is. And I'm going to come out of that, and actually we're going to go down to the camera settings, which is these three squiggly lines in the bottom right. And I'm trying to select it. There we go. And so we've got a cloudy day today, folks. So I am going to go down to white balance and try to turn on cloudy day. Okay, so we got cloudy white balance set on that, and also I want to check to make sure that we are in 1080p 60 frames per second, which we are. And one other thing I want to check before we take off is sensor status. We need to calibrate those gyros for this new location here. It has never flown here before, so we're going to hit start calibration, and it wants us to do the rotations. So we start off with 3 horizontal rotations like so. 1, 2, 3. And then we do 3 vertical rotations like so. 1, 2, until this light in the back is solid. The green light on the bottom here is solid. Okay, it was flashing, now it's solid. Okay, and we put it on a flat level surface again, and we are ready to go. Okay, we should be ready to go. Before that, double check that we got GPS and it's on, and we have 16 satellites, so we're more than ready to go. Okay, starting the video recording by pressing and holding the video recording button, and it's flashing up here. The TF card is flashing, so we are recording. And I'm going to start the motors like so by pressing this motor button, and it locks it. And then we're going to do takeoff by pressing the takeoff button. And now we got wind coming from that direction. Let's see how steady this hover is. Let's go up a bit higher. And I'm not moving. The wind's buffeting a bit because it is windy today. Okay, let me get in front of the camera and say, hello folks, how do you like my shirt today? It's under there somewhere. Okay, I do have a, what do you call it, tie-dye on. Okay, let me sync up the cameras. So we're good there. Okay, everything looks good. Everything's recording. Let's go up a bit higher first off. I just want to go straight up, and then I'm going to push forward and head toward the other end of the field there. Okay, it's a fast little drone, ain't it? But we are at 60, 70 meters out. And let's plop it right there for a second. Okay, and right now I'm noticing it is wobbling a bit in the wind there. Let's see, let's turn it toward me from there. Turn it a little more. Wind is hitting it strong up there, folks. There's a lot of wind up there, but it looks kind of steady down here. Okay, I'm trying to zoom in on me. Let's lower the gimbal down. And I'm down there somewhere, folks. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm waving. Raise it up a little bit more. Waving from over here. Okay, from that position, I'm just going to see how stable it is. The image looks real stable on my phone. Let's drift off to the right. I'm going to push to the right and drift to the right and just pan. And stop right there. From there, let's drift to the left. Panning to the left. And then stopping right there. Boy, that's a fast drone. Am I in high rate? Let me check the rates. I'm in low rate. Okay. Okay, from there, let's do this return to home and landing. Check that out. Pressing return to home, and let's see it come home. See how close this return to home and landing is, folks. Coming back. Please pay attention to the wind speed to ensure safe return. Yeah, it is windy. Although, you know, it's about 9 miles per hour, I'm guessing, right today. Let me stand back a bit from the landing pad. It's overhead right now, and it should be starting its descent here shortly. And here it comes. I'm going to stop that descent before it touches the pad, because I don't want it to land in this grass. This grass is starting to get higher, and it's wet too. Okay, it comes down fast, and then it stops. Slows down. Yeah, slows down right there, and then I'm going to stop it. So, that's not too bad, folks. It's less than a meter off. Pretty darn close. So that works fine. Okay, since that's working fine, let's try the next thing that most people want to see, and that's follow me. Let's go up a bit higher. Syncing up the cameras again. And stepping back about 30 meters. Usually you need about 20 to 30 meters for an accurate follow me. Let's see if we can do it from here. Follow me, and then sliding to the right. Follow me is activated. And let's see if it follows. And what type of follow me? Okay, I'm going to walk over this way. It's pivoting. It's pivoting like it's being pulled on a string. So it's DJI style follow me. Let's see if I walk toward it, and when it recognizes that I'm walking toward it, it does now. Let me raise up the gimbal too. Let me turn off follow me and see if we can do a close follow me. Because that wasn't too bad. That was actually pretty nice. Let me get closer, right about here, and activate follow me again. Follow me. Okay, activate it, and syncing up the cameras. Now, I'm going to walk toward it. See what happens. Hello there. And I'm going to do a narrative while I'm walking toward it. So, you know, if you want something that'll follow you around and you can talk to it up close, this one actually lets you get close to it. A lot of them don't let you do that, but it does. Let's go this way, see if it follows me over here. And when it notices that I'm drifting, not yet, still not yet, hasn't turned toward me yet. Okay, there we go, it's turning now. And it notices I'm pretty far away. So I'm gonna do an old man shuffle over here. Okay, so follow me works fine, coming out of it. And let's bring it back over toward my position. And stop it there. And the next thing we want is circle position. I'm going to go up a little bit higher because I don't want to hit me. And lowering the gimbal a bit. Right about there is fine. And then going into the features again. And point of interest. And activating. And now I had it set, I believe, 20 meters. Let me go up a bit higher too. 20 meters. So it's circling a position 20 meters out from its point of where it was pointed when I acted follow me. And it seems to be working well, this circle position too. So yeah, this Holy Stone drone is not too bad, not too shabby at all. I like Holy Stone drones. They're usually high quality for a toy drone. You know, this is still, you know, not commercial, what's the word I'm looking for? Not professional level, but it's pretty darn good for what it is at this price range. So that is circle position. So stopping at now. Okay, bringing it closer toward me again. Now I'm going to activate headless mode. Coming down, syncing up again. And we're going to activate headless mode this time. So going in there and selecting headless mode and activating. And the reason I want to do that is I want to do an up and away. Let me see which direction is the up and away direction. It'll be this way. So I'm going to turn it toward me. Lowering the gimbal again a bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Right about there. And from there, I'm going to give it throttle and push forward in headless mode. Up and away. Up and away. Pretty cool, huh? And raising the gimbal up from there. So that worked fine too. So coming back in. Oh, actually, I got to turn off headless mode first. Headless mode is off. Pushing forward, and I'm going to manually bring it in this time. Reducing throttle. Going in the opposite direction. Boy, that wind's picking up, folks. But it don't seem to care too much. It bounces around a bit, see? But it holds it steady. So, nice drone so far. Okay. Now, one other thing is this waypoints. Let me talk to you about that, folks. Let's select this screen here. There is an issue with this screen. I've tried it to get it to work at home and to locate its position, but there is a problem connecting the screen to Google Maps. That's why they're not. I looked at the advertisement for this, and they are not advertising. I did not see advertising waypoint feature for this because of that. So, you know, waypoints and, you know, tap fly, it has it in the app, but it doesn't seem to work. Okay, so unfortunately it doesn't seem to work. Well, while we're here, let me turn off that video one time by pressing that button there, and try the photos. There's one photo. Get closer. Two photo, coming down a little lower, and one more photo. So that's the photo feature of this. And starting the video recording one more time. And syncing the cameras again. And how much battery power? I got 3/4 battery power, so we're still good there. So with that in mind, let's take a flight around the park, just to see the park. Not a bad drone at all. I like this thing. You know, you don't need, with 2-axis gimbal image stabilization, that's a pretty potent combination, especially with 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p, 60 frames per second. That's not bad at all. Okay, I'm looking to see if I can see Lake Erie, and I'm just not seeing it, folks, today. It's a cloudy day. Well, maybe it's there. I haven't a hard. Oh, there it is. I can see it now. So there's Lake Erie off in the distance. And I'm going to turn from there, head back toward us. Now I'm flying manually, line of sight only, folks. And how am I doing it at these great distances? It's a skill that you really need to learn. It's an easy to learn skill, but all it is, folks, is if you push forward on the stick and the drone is moving to the left in the sky, all you need to do is keep turning left until that movement stops. That left movement stops, and that means it's coming back toward you, like right now. This should be heading slightly back toward me. Turning. Yeah, there we go. That should be coming back to me now. And if it moves off to the right, turn to the right until the movement stops. So turning, and there it is, coming right over my head. So it's very easy to fly, and it's crabbing with the wind too, I noticed up there. That wind's hitting it, so it's flying diagonally right now because of the wind. Boy, is it dark clouds up there right now. We're going to get rain here sometime today. So, okay, turning to the right. Nobody's here at the park with me today, so I don't care. I'm going to fly over by the parking area. Normally I avoid that area if there's people over there, but there's nobody here today. And flying around, showing this camera and what it can do. Yeah, this is actually a nice drone. Nicely done. I don't know what the price of it is yet. I don't know what they're planning to sell it. I haven't seen that yet. I hope it's a reasonably priced drone, but we'll find out. But again, it's going to be on Amazon, I'm pretty sure, is where they're going to release it. It's where they normally release it. Let's bring it down lower now. I'm reducing throttle while I'm flying forward, because the next thing I want to try is sport flying. Turning toward me. Still pushing forward. Reducing throttle more. Coming down. And it goes by me. Okay, we'll bring it in. We're going to do a little bit of sport flying next. See how the sport flying works with this. Going into higher rate. And bringing it back. Coming back toward me. And there we go. Back home. So, what did I just hit? Oh, did I go higher rate? No, I'm still in low rate. Hold on, folks. Do I have to hold this down? Are we in high rate? Now we're in high rate. Okay. So before we go to flying in high rate, I'm going to stop the video recording, restart it, because I don't want to lose that last video I just took. Syncing up the cameras. And now let's see this thing in sport mode in high rate. So you ready? And away we go. This is its high speed. It doesn't seem to be much higher than low rate. There it goes by me. Yeah, it's not really much faster in high rate. Doesn't appear to be. Okay, let's go over that way then. Get some distance there. Turn to the right, turn to the right. Again, I'm flying line of sight only, folks. I do not use this FPV screen to fly it. Those of you who are trying to do that, that's a mistake. You really need to learn to fly line of sight. And I recommend, and you can do that with these GPS drones easily. You can practice. Again, moving to the right, turn to the right until it comes back toward you, until the movement stops or reverses direction. And then, so, not too bad. Even at high speed, it's doing a good job. And which way am I pointing? Coming back toward me. And reducing throttle, coming back down. Let's go back to low rate. Back to low rate. And coming down. How much our battery power is still good. This does have a long flight time, don't it? And there I am. And that white balance is looking okay for this day. This gloomy, overcast day. Okay, let's try. Okay, I did everything. Follow me. I want to go back out again and go up higher, like I did before, and just plop it in the sky, like a beacon in the sky, right about there. Turn it toward me. Slowly turning it toward me. So I should be in the center of the picture right now. And lowering the gimbal. I'm looking for hard. Oh, there I see myself. And I'm just going to let it bounce around in the sky up there in the wind and see how steady it is. Okay. Especially on a day like today. Although the wind seems to have slowed down a bit, and the sun might be coming out here shortly. We'll see. Okay, with that in mind, we're up there right now. Let me slide it to the right. Okay, I'm going to slide it to the right. Panning from up there. Looking down, the sun's coming out. The sun's hitting me right now. It's brightening up the whole field. So, let's go up higher. Bring it back right overhead. And I'm going to go up high and then point it toward Lake Erie. And then see if we can see Lake Erie. There we go. Blue skies now overhead. Okay, let's take it up to about, I don't know, 30, 40 meters. Going up higher, 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 higher. 30, I see Lake Erie. There you are. Going up to 40 meters, maybe even up to 50 for today. 50 meters up, and there's Lake Erie. Oh yeah, I have it set in the settings to don't exceed 50 meters. I don't like to fly too high, folks. I just don't. Beautiful day today, ain't it? When the sun comes out, it's beautiful. But I'm looking around the area, slow panning around the area. It does a nice slow pan. Turning, turning, turning. And my battery power is still good, I guess. Yeah, still says three bars. There's the area. Yeah, let's reduce the throttle now. Coming back down. This is a nice drone, huh? I'm serious, this is a nice drone. And it's bouncing around, but it's holding steady. Doing a real good job of holding steady. And let's turn it toward me again. And I should be in the picture now, and there I am. So, let's get a little closer to this thing here. Give me my thoughts here while we've got battery power on it, and the wind's blowing on it. Oh no! This is a nicely done drone from Holystone that they're providing here. Very good GPS drone. Good camera, really good camera. I'm looking at the image on the screen here. It looks a little bit scrunched because of the way that they, on the left side and the right side, they got control bars, and that scrunches the image to make me look, well, I guess that's good. It makes me look thinner than I am. Folks, I lost all that weight over the winter. Okay, yeah, right. I wished. But all in all, you know, good. Again, 2-axis stabilized gimbal, working very well. Image stabilization on top of that. Okay, the 720E did not have that gimbal, but it would still have stabilized video. But the problem is, without the gimbal, the video would be tilted, sometimes be tilted, especially if the drone is crabbing with the wind, tilting sideways with the wind. That's not a problem anymore now that it has this 2-axis stabilized gimbal. Okay, again, able to record 4K at 30 frames per second, or what I'm doing right now is 1080p at 60 frames per second. So good quality recording there. It has advanced flight control features of follow me and circle me, which worked well. Again, it also is supposed to have waypoints, but that feature does not work because it just does not link up with Google Maps. And again, I did try to connect this at home on Wi-Fi. I did try to connect this via data without connecting to the drone. I was never able to get Google Maps to show up in the lower left screen, in particular that screen there. Never was able to get it to work, unfortunately. But other than that, again, good drone. So, again, let me sync up the video camera again, and one more time we'll go out and about. Let's just go exploring. We still got a lot of battery power. Yeah, it still says we got a lot of battery power. I'm amazed how long this thing can fly. I hope my hat camera lasts long enough. But let's explore the area with the drone. Again, there's nobody here today, so let's go toward the trails. There's trails off in these trees, in this tree line over here, folks. People go and hike around the area. It's a beautiful area to go hiking. So let's go over toward it. Okay, what do you got here? Temporary. The battery only support the drone flying at 30 meter altitude and 100 meter range. That means we're getting low in battery right now. So it keeps it within 100 meters for the remainder of the flight. I'm not going to go much farther out. So we'll go over this side of the field. Go close to the tree line, near the tree line, going up a bit higher. And right about there, show you the trees. And they're going to be turning green here shortly, since this is April. April showers are coming my way this entire week, so we'll show the area before getting hit with the showers.
And what's it doing? I believe it's coming back to do a return to home and landing on low battery. Is that what it's saying it's doing? The battery only support. Not sure what it's doing. Yeah, return to home and landing, I guess. So the battery is getting low. I'm going to stop that return to home as soon as it comes down from up there. Well, it's not coming down. It's just staying right there. So I'm going to bring it down manually. We'll fly it in close for the remainder of the flight. And there we are. Again, syncing up the camera. I do this, folks, for those of you who are wondering, so my lips, I can synchronize my lips with the camera in post-editing when we get back. So, yeah, good drone. Nicely done. Let me get some thumbnails for my flight. Let's turn it around the other way now. Get some more thumbnails for my YouTube video. Thumbnails are important if you do it right. Okay, there we go again. And one more thumbnail up close like that. And maybe this way too. So, okay. So the 720G, again, let's take it around. Oh, I'm going to stop the video recording real quick. Make sure that got on the card. Starting it one more time. And the remainder of the flight will fly fast. They're in high rate. Oh, wait. You know what I haven't tried? Optical flow. Optical flow mode. Let's try it. Let's turn off the GPS. GPS off. Okay, now it's maintaining its position using that sensor in the belly. And let's see if it actually works out here outdoors. It seems to be working well. Again, the GPS is turned off right now. So we're just flying around with the GPS off. Turning it there, stopping, and see if it'll, yeah, it's stopping itself. Make sure that, is that GPS off? Yeah, it's off. So dang, it works, that optical flow works real well. Let's bring it in. Stop it right there, and let's see. Again, the optical flow system works just like the GPS, you know, in maintaining position. It's doing a real good job too. So if you want to get it in the air real fast without doing all that calibration, just turn off the GPS and do such. Now the limitation of this optical flow is that it will not do a return to home and landing. Okay, you got the GPS turned off. So I got a feeling this thing's going to just land itself wherever it's at with the GPS turned off. So I'm turning it back on again. So hold on, folks, while I do that. GPS is back on. Now it's flying on GPS mode. Okay, so it should do return to home and landing, or I think do a return to home and landing on low battery. I am not quite sure. Okay, but right now we're still in low battery mode, so let me go back to high rate. High rate, and let's do those high-speed flight runs. Oh, wait, there we go. Low battery, so I don't want to do anything. What's it doing? It's going to just land itself wherever it's at within that 30-meter circle. So that's it, folks. Let me stop that video recording and give you final rundown. So all in all, this is a nice drone. I like it. The Hs720g from Holystone. Holystone always puts out quality drones. I like them. So hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.
Thank you.